Have you ever wanted to falcon punch somebody off the damn map? Well, this is the build for you. It takes advantage of some pretty unique mechanics, and it takes advantage of being a monk in a way that a lot of monks aren't going to be able to pull off. So let's check it out. So starting off, we're going to want to be Variant Human. Variant Human allows us to get 16 in our dexterity and 16 in our wisdom, assuming point buy, and then we're going to be able to have 15 in constitution, pick up the crusher feat to round out our constitution. So point buy, we're going to get 16, 16, 16. Now, if you're not doing point buy, the order of operations is going to be have the best dexterity you possibly can, followed up with a strong constitution that is odd, and then get as good of a wisdom as you can. The reason, of course, we're taking the odd constitution is that when we pick up the crusher feat, we want to round ourselves out. The crusher feat is going to be essential for this build, so there's no reason to take an even constitution coming out the gate. As far as our levels go, we're going to take 5 levels in open hand monk. We're going to follow it up with 3 levels in battle master fighter, and then we're going to basically either go X monk or we're going to go X monk with 1 fighter thrown in there at an optimal time. We'll get into that later. So unlike most of my videos, I'm actually going to do a bit of a skip here and then come back and talk about the tactics we have available to us beforehand. I want to discuss where we're at when our tactics are full force first. So let's pretend we're level 8. We have our battle master maneuvers online. The essential one is pushing attack. The other ones I chose were disarming attack and goading attack, but we'll start with pushing attack. Why is it so important for this build? Well, here's where the mechanic comes in. If you have different effects that are all taking place at the exact same moment, then according to Xanathar's Guide to Everything, the player who is in control of the person who has multiple effects going on is the one who decides the order of those effects. So for example, let's pretend we have the crusher feat, we have open hand technique from being Way of the Open Hand Monk, and we have pushing attack from being a battle master. Oh wait, hey, we have all those things. All of those things proc when you hit. Now they have different stipulations. One's when you hit with your flurry of blows attack. Pushing attack is when you hit with any weapon attack, and crusher is when you hit with a bludgeoning attack, but all of them are when you hit. So order of operations could be a problem, but because of that rule in Xanathar's Guide, we know that we could say crusher goes off first, followed by pushing attack, followed by open hand technique. Let's say that we're level 8, we've done both of our normal attacks, now we're doing flurry of blows. Our first attack hits, we use crusher first to lift them 5 feet into the air, so they're at a 45-degree angle to us. Then we're going to use pushing attack, and let's pretend they failed their save, and we're going to use open hand techniques, push, and let's pretend they fail that again, and that's going to go another 15 feet. Following my perfect triangle math that you shouldn't question or double check at all, this will push them 20 feet away from us, and they will fall 25 feet. This means that they're going to take 2d6 extra damage, and they're going to be knocked prone. Also, assuming they have 30 feet of movement, they're going to have to stand up, which is going to take 15 feet of their movement, and then we're 20 feet away from them, so they have to walk 15 feet just to get next to us. So after we do this punch, all we have to do is take 1 step backwards, and they're not going to be able to reach us. This can help us control for our allies. We can push them off of our back line and keep them far away. Also, something to keep in mind is that the crusher combined with pushing attack from being a battle master doesn't need to be a flurry of blows attack. So on your first weapon attack, you can hit them and attempt to push them. In this case, it'd be 15 feet away, and then they would fall 15 feet. So they'd take 1d6 instead of 2d6, but they'd still be knocked prone. And what's really cool about this is that we can now walk towards them and use the rest of our attacks at advantage. So it's actually better than the Way of the Open Hand Monk's normal way of knocking them prone, and it's better for several reasons. The first is that strength saves are arguably better than dexterity saves in general, but that's definitely going to be the case for a lot of creatures. So if you say this creature is really good at dexterity, well, you have a different option to knock them prone now. The second advantage this gives us is we're going to get every single one of our attacks with advantage. We don't have to wait till our bonus action to start getting advantage. We can start getting them right after our first attack. That's a huge deal. Number 3 is it does bonus damage. It does that extra d6 of damage that you wouldn't get for doing the dexterity save. Now this is all at level 8. Where are we at before level 8? Well, we still have the crusher combo with our open hand technique, so we can still go for that bonus action push and to play off of there. That's not all crusher can do. So open hand technique a lot of times during these first 7 levels is just going to be used to enable a hit and run playstyle for us. But let's say we run out of key points. Well, crusher can still enable a hit and run playstyle, although admittedly to a lesser degree. A little bit more nuance here. As for our fighting style, I'm going to be picking up the unarmed fighting style. That is going to give us d8s up until all the way to level 14 when we finally catch up as a monk who's taken a 3-level dip. So that's actually a long time that we're still getting advantage of all those d8s. And the nice thing about them is it also affects our bonus action attack. So we're getting 3 d8 attacks a turn, which is pretty awesome. As for our other maneuvers, I think there's a lot of flexibility here. So definitely be free flowing and choose what feels best to you. But for me, I really like goading attack when combined with a hit and runner, because we can give somebody disadvantage on all attacks except attacks against us, and then we can just dip. So we don't have to get attacked at all, meaning we just debuff them completely. I love that combo. Another one I really like when we are being an unarmed fighter is disarming attack. I think disarming attack is really cool because let's say they have a +3 magic weapon. Even if we can't use it, we can disarm them, pick it up, play keep away with their super powerful weapon. I really like disarming here. All right, now let's pretend we get to level 14 and it's the moment when we might want to take a 4th level in fighter. Picking up that ASI is always good, but it's also going to allow us to change our fighting style, because our fighting style is not going to be worth it at that level. It doesn't do anything for us. So we could change our fighting style to potentially blind fighting style or superior technique if we want another couple maneuvers and the die to play with. But if we make this choice and we go all the way to level 20, we're not going to get quivering palm, so that is a sacrifice to make this decision. So where are we at here? Well, we are a super speedy monk who can knock people freaking far away. We can debuff people by giving them disadvantage or by taking their weapons. We can kind of control the battlefield. This character is really going to shine if your DM puts interesting dynamic battlefields out there. Cliff edges, traps, things to utilize. This character will be able to utilize. We hit for decent damage. We have decent saves. Overall, pretty well rounded. I'd say our primary weakness is the fact we don't have a super strong ranged option. At the end of the day, though, I think this character is all about having a lot of fun, punching people 30 feet up in the air, dropping them to the ground, sprinting forward and punching them on the face while they're on the ground. Having a lot of fun, dynamic movement, I think is where this character really shines. The ideas for the mechanics for this video were provided by one of our patrons, Fledgling. So thank you, Fledgling. You're always the man when it comes to builds. I love what you come up with. And for everyone else, hey, we got a Patreon. If you wanted to go ahead and support the channel, we'd love to see you there. But other than that, my friends, I hope you have yourselves a wonderful day. We appreciate each and every one of you, and we'll see you on the next one. See you, love you, bye.